There we go. Holy cannoli. My daughter is helping me get this channel organized better. And the last thing she said before we got off the phone yesterday was, take a picture of yourself every day before you start your life, so that then I can use it to create more topic-specific thumbnails. And I knew when she said it, I'm like, girl, do you know that I'm never ready when I get on these lives? Do you know that some days I'll be half asleep still trying to wake up and talk to people? How the hell am I going to remember to take a picture? Much less, what is that picture going to look like when I am freshly waking up? I got sleep lines on my face still. And she want me to take a picture. But I digress. Welcome to the morning message. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, we got good light. Ish. Oh my God. I normally am up really early. And that was true today too. I was up really early. And then I fell back asleep, which is something that rarely happens. And clearly it was some good sleep, okay? It clearly was. Because Vic damn near had to come wake me up for this morning message. And so, y'all give me a minute to just like, I washed my face and brushed my teeth, and that did not help. I feel very groggy. So let's see if we can do this. Say hi in the chat if you have not already. I appreciate y'all for joining, whether it's here live or on the replay. These be adventurous times over here in these morning messages. We never know what is coming through. Or what it's intended to do inside of us. What is it? How is it intended to activate us? And today feels like a very activating energy. What's up, Najee? And today's topic is very activating. It almost feels like an extension of yesterday, but what's up, King? But before I get into it, I want to introduce myself. My name is Allah-mi Basheer. Hey, I look sleepy as fuck still. I just got it. My face, the swelling will go down a little bit. Oh yeah, I'm an intuitive. Yeah. I'm also a self-mastery coach where I teach people how to reconnect with their inner knowing so they can make more confident decisions about their health, their career, their relationships, life. We don't typically see our lives in such fashion, but as our parents or elders once told you, like, life is really about choices, decisions. Life really does, at its essence, boil down to the kind of choices we make on a day-to-day basis. That ends up being what we call your life. If you look back on your life in years and experiences past, like the difference maker in all of those things was how you responded, how you dealt with it, how you received it, and all of those things are choices. What's up, Chris? So yeah, that's typically the essence of everything we talk about here today. It's not just some inspirational, motivational shit, even though we might get some of that too. These morning messages are really intended to get you focused on your intentions and decisions and where you put your attention and energy. So I welcome y'all to stick around. If you're new here, thank you for joining. If you're old here, I love y'all. Thank you for joining. Okay. And let's see what gets started today. Even before I get into today's topic, I know I'm dehydrated and I feel like I'm not alone. I feel like everybody in here needs to take a sip of water right now. Okay? Literally. And that's not a demand, it's some encouragement. It's it's important that we stay hydrated. Shit. Not only is it summertime where most of us live and there's an increased amount of sun exposure, just on a regular day of life, we all need to be drinking like 3 of these. Okay? 3 of these. This is how many fluid ounces? 900, no, 30 ounce. This is a 30-ounce bottle. So what they say, you're supposed to be drinking like something like half your body weight in water every day or something like that. So maybe it's not, yeah, maybe it's not quite 3, it might be 2.5 for some of y'all. But it's a lot of energy as we get started with this morning message around water intake and staying hydrated. So give me a moment to just digest this because I just drank all this coffee. I think that's another reason why I woke up with a slight headache is that I'm dehydrated. Also, before I get started, there's a lot of energy around meditating. I woke up late, so I didn't get a chance to have just my solo quiet time the way I might normally. And I did engage for about 3 minutes, but I typically like to get in about 10 of just quiet stillness with no activity, not on my phone, not thinking about nothing, just being inside my body and noticing how my body feels, noticing the quality of my thoughts, and noticing any inspirations or downloads that come in. That's typically what I do each morning to some degree, whether it's 2 minutes or 20 minutes, to some degree, I usually have that kind of anchoring time. And I didn't have as much of it as I wanted to today. So I feel like some of these messages might be a little bit slow as I'm grounding now even more to be able to bring it in. And I invite you all to do some grounding as well, no matter what you're doing. It's just for even 30 seconds. Take some deep breaths in your nose, out of your mouth. Nice, slow, and easy in the nose. Out of the mouth. Taking it in like a full inhale, as much air as you can take in. And then blowing all of that air out. And as you can see, I'm not hunching. It's not a pant, okay? It's not like you just ran a race and you're trying to catch your breath. It's just enjoying the breath. And there may be times throughout this morning message that I take you back to that remembrance of your breathing. Because what often happens when we focus on our body is it takes us away from our mind. And the opposite is also true. When we're really focused in our intention of the mind, that it takes us away from the experiences of the body. And what's optimal is that we're having a full body experience all the time, which is why mindfulness and awareness, meditation, all those things are so important for full body awareness, not just awareness of what you think, not just awareness of how something feels emotionally, but that whole body awareness, okay, is what I call intuitive intelligence. So as you continue with your breath, I'm gonna start getting into these messages, and I think some of these messages might be triggering for some of you. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Let's given that. It's given that some of these messages might be triggering for some of you. If you've seen the title of the video, you may already have been triggered. Because the title is a bit of accountability. What you're avoiding is blocking your abundance. What you're avoiding is blocking your abundance. I just thought I'd be in here just because I didn't want to be disruptive down there.
No, you're fine.
For when they get up.
Something right here.
Okay.
I'm just right next door.
Okay. Yeah. What you're avoiding is blocking your abundance. So, of course, natural next question. What are you avoiding? That's my natural next question. It's not even what is your abundance. The question for me is what are you avoiding? If you want to start at what is your abundance, you can start that. Okay, well, what is my abundance? What is it that I'm actually really wanting out of life or for myself? Like, what is it that actually matters to me that I want to be doing or experiencing or have or accomplish? What is that? Some of you might start there. Okay. What is this actual abundance consist of? Or who does it include? What does it include? Okay. So I got some simple answers for myself because I know what I'm working on in my own life, you know, in terms of this business and brand development and service provision for lots of people, helping people get in alignment with themselves, pursue their purpose, and live joyful, meaningful lives. That is what my abundance looks like. And yeah, it might include things like travel and a couple of homes internationally and a substantial savings account. It could include all of those things, but ultimately, my abundance flows in when I'm serving people, and that I know. Okay, when I'm walking in my purpose, that's where my abundance comes. So then for me, it's like, what am I blocking? What am I? Remember the conversation yesterday was about what are you still holding on to that you need to let go of in order to grow forward? Okay, this is like a part 2 to that. What are you avoiding that's keeping you from doing what you want, having what you know you deserve, experiencing joy in the ways that you want to? Like, what is in the way of that? What is in the way of it? Like, these are questions you have to ask yourself. This is not, I'm going to speak on this topic and give you the answers for yourself. Even when I start pulling cards to help you jog your memory or jog your attention in a direction that might trigger you to more awareness, it's still you that's got to do this work. You got to be willing to explore it, willing to let it in once you get to it. Okay. Part of what some of you are avoiding is detachment from things that are weighing you down. Not even just things that you've outgrown, things that are weighing you down. Like, you can't rise because you got this weight holding you back. What is that weight? And I'm hearing, what is that dead weight? And there's a lot of meaning in that. Dead weight could be old habits. Dead weight could be old relationships or expired relationships. Dead weight could be old belief systems and self-doubt. Dead weight could even be something like grief. Grief. And I'm talking about not just like the loss of people who are important to you that might be depressing your energy. It's like grieving relationships that you wish were something else or you wish were more. It's like grieving the loss of a person who passed away and you just can't seem to, quote, move on, or as someone would say, get over it. And there's a lot of air quotes around that because particularly when we lose life, that does linger, okay? And it does start to lend itself to healthy forms of grief as opposed to other forms of mental illness is what they're giving me, okay? So, you know, wishing that somebody never died is not something that is sustainable, because you can't do nothing about that. When people pass away, they pass on, their flesh is no more. And there is some level of get over it, which really looks like move forward. And it's like moving forward with new meaning, new kinds of connection with those people who have transitioned. Okay. So there's a lot of layers to this conversation. Okay, there's a lot of layers to it. What are you avoiding that is blocking your abundance? So I'll give you some examples of what's coming in. I don't know who it's for. For some of you, something that you're avoiding that is blocking your abundance is taking care of yourself. Doing right by you. Doing right by your physical health, which can include things like weight management, exercise, diet. Okay. This is what's holding you back because you don't feel good in your body. You don't feel great when other people look at you. You don't feel healthy. You don't feel attractive. And I'm hearing you don't feel sexy. Okay. And you may be thinking like, well, is sexy a real requirement for me to get to where I'm trying to go in life? For some of you, it is. A big part of your self-confidence comes from your physicality. And if you've picked up a few pounds or maybe lost too many more than you prefer, that might be fucking up your head a little bit and disrupting your ability to focus on what really matters, is going after what you want. When we don't take care of our physical health, it can lead into insecurities. And those insecurities become blocks and barriers to you moving forward. Okay. So simple things like just starting to walk or including a little bit of weight training in your daily routine can easily start to remove that block. And I'm saying all these things like it's just that simple. A lot of us have a hard time getting our ass to the gym or getting up outside to go walk or get on that bike or do whatever it is that you know you can do to work on your physical fitness. Well, your failure to do that is blocking your abundance from coming in. Okay. Some of us have more mental, emotional blocks. Okay. As I made reference to fears and doubts and things like feeling undeserving, you're feeling just generally not confident. Some of us have things like I mentioned, grief. And grief doesn't necessarily just mean the loss of a person or the loss of a particular romantic or friend relationship. Some of us have grief around mistakes, things that we call failures. Some of us are stuck in our memory bank of things that happened before, things that didn't go, quote, right. And we're stuck there in those outdated beliefs of ourselves and those constantly repeating memories of failures or regret. Stuck. Okay. Which looks like a block because it is. It's keeping you from moving forward toward what you really want and experiencing life on your terms. Because you keep going back and keep going back and keep going back as opposed to looking ahead. Okay. And then there are these spiritual blocks. Okay. And I know the word spiritual really has a lot of different definitions depending on who you're talking to. What's up, Maya? Spiritual blocks. Spiritual blocks are very nuanced. Okay. And by spiritual, I mean literally of the spirit. Okay. Of the spirit. The spirit being an all-encompassing energy, an all-knowing energy, an almighty energy. We don't need to refer to it solely as, quote, God, because that be tripping some of y'all up too. It's more language. I'm not talking about what people commonly call it. I'm talking about what it is. And a spiritual block is when we are disconnected from ourselves, our greater self. Spiritual blocks look like what you all might call beliefs, but what I might call knowing. Okay. Like when you wake up in the day, okay, do you know that everything is working out for you? No matter what it looks like on the surface, do you know that? I'm not saying do you believe that. It's like, level setting. Like fundamentally, if I were to ask you, who are you? And you say anything other than spirit first, I'm a spirit being having a human experience. If that's not your fundamental understanding of yourself, you're immediately disconnected from this thing I'm calling spirit. If you don't know that that's you, you're an extension of it, okay, then that means you're already starting with a deficit. You're already, quote, behind, okay? Those of you who don't attach your sense of self to something that is of the soul and of the spirit, if you don't have a direct connection to knowing that is who you are, how you are, you're already at a deficit. Because if you qualify yourself as a human being first, that means you're attached to what you see more so than what you don't see. And that's a problem. That's a block. Those of you out here just trying to make plans and work hard to get to desired outcomes, you're already behind. Because you're not even using all of your magic, all of your knowing, all of your power. If you solely dumb yourself down to just this flesh and bones, we know how fragile this stuff is. We forget. It don't take much just to knock somebody out cold. Somebody hit me wrong with this bottle. It's over with. This could literally kill me. This one little thing, it's not even a bullet. It doesn't even have a lot of weight mass to it. It could even be empty and do a lot of damage to this physical body. So our resilience goes far beyond this flesh and bones. Our ability to produce in this realm goes far beyond what I can do solely with my hands and with my feet, and even with my mind. Okay. So there's a lot of layers to this as we're talking about blocks that are in the way of our abundance. Some of y'all really need to just start with this last one, which is really the first one, which is recognizing that you are a spirit being first. As some you might call yourselves a child of God. Okay. God in its essence, if we take away all of these names and these human forms that we try to layer on top of this energy, if we take those things away, you are solely a spirit being. Solely. A descendant of creation. And if you acknowledge that as your truth, in the same way you would go outside and acknowledge a tree as an extension of creation, and the sky as an extension of creation, and the bugs as extension of creation, all of a sudden we get to humans, and humans have a different qualification. They're not an extension of creation. Although we are. There's nobody every day waking up telling the sun to rise or telling your heart to beat. You trust that your heart is going to continue beating. You're not waking up in the morning thinking about your heart unless you have some problems. Then it starts to awaken a new fear. Oh my God, is it going to stop? But everything in nature exists with a very instinctive way in which it moves, operates, grows, evolves, creates. Nobody's out there having to tell, the ground to be the ground, the butterflies to be the butterflies, the sunset to be the sun. Nobody's telling it to do that in order for it to function on automatic pilot to create what it's here to create. You're no different than that. And we forget that. In order to be consciously alive here, there's a lot of shit that has to happen inside this vessel. My circulation has to go over here and over there. My lungs need to expand at a certain rate and capacity. It's got to push this H2, this oxygen and carbon through my body. I've got to be able to digest food and expel it in order to stay healthy. And there's not a whole lot of things that we typically are having to do to these physical bodies to make them work until they start to become compromised. But just on the daily, like even right now, to keep dust out of my eyes are naturally blinking. I'm not having to think about it. It's just happening. And I know it's going to happen. I expect it to happen. I expect that when I open my mouth, my voice will come. I'm not worried. Is my voice going to work in the next 5 seconds? Like I know it's going to come. So there's a lot to be said about us really coming to understand, and I'm hearing the word underline, like underline the word spirit in your description. Spirit is all of creation. You are an aspect of it. You operate on automatic pilot too. If you get out of your head, your body has a natural way of knowing what to do, not just inside, but outside in this realm as well. Okay. So these are examples of the spiritual blocks, okay? It's a lack of recognizing who you actually are. Okay. Okay. Y'all with me? It's a lot of energy around needing to get up and move the body, okay? It's like if you've ever done any walking for any length of time, it's more than just the walking. Yeah, you're walking. You might even be noticing some things along your path. You may come into contact with certain new people you've never met. But walking is another form of a meditation. Your body is consciously taking steps forward, going on your path, but unconsciously your mind starts to rise. Awarenesses start to rise. You start, as you think you're thinking, okay, you're thinking, okay, and you may start to think, but it's like when you start walking, it occupies the body, and it also engages the mind in such a way that your unconscious awareness can rise. As if you're paying attention. If you're walking and you're talking to someone, and if you're walking and you're listening to an iPad, listening to your headphones and listening to a podcast or a song or whatever, you're distracted. But if you just go walk and be mindfully aware as you're walking, like actually paying attention to your feet touching the ground, the sun beaming on your face, and that little bit of wind that you feel brush by as you make steps forward, when you are fully present in a walking experience, it becomes a meditation. Okay. So a meditation is not always about just sitting still in a lotus position, closing your eyes and trying to focus. That's what a lot of y'all do. Okay, I'm supposed to not think. No, just go sit down somewhere and chill and breathe. And if that's too difficult, you can move. Do a yoga asana. Moving is okay. Moving sometimes allows us to connect more closely with our unconscious mind. This is why yoga is so powerful. It is a moving meditation. My son does Tai Chi. He finds himself able to more ground when he is moving his body and allowing his mind to relax while he engages his body in breath control and these particular movements. I don't even know how to do it. He studied it, figured it out, and now he does it for himself. All of these are forms of meditation, a way to facilitate mindful awareness. And this is important to this message because some of you all have no idea what's holding you back because you don't spend enough time in your own awareness to notice what you're saying to yourself or what you're feeling or what you really want, what you're needing. Okay. So it's a lot of energy around like, go for a walk today. Leave your phone behind. Go be present in nature and watch God and creation do what creation does. A lot of you, if I say, where do you feel most at peace? You would say nature right off the bat. When I'm outside, I feel most at peace. Some of you might say, when I'm in my room, in my bed, I feel most at peace. Not realizing that you feel most at peace there because you might be by yourself. You're able to connect your mind with your body because you're relaxing. For some of you, it's like that ripping and running, as Black folks say. That's what's serving as the block. You're moving too fast. You're trying to do too much without grounding. That's what the block is. Okay. So it's what are the blocks for you? Okay. As I look at the card, what are the blocks for you, kids? Okay. So as I'm talking about meditation and mindfulness being essential to this process, even before we start talking about people, places, and things that are serving as the block, it's like grounding. Your ability to ground is serving as the block. To connect with your own breath. I love how this should just be playing out. I didn't anticipate getting on here to do any deep breathing exercises with y'all this morning, but I was led right into it, and here goes the card to reinforce it right out of nowhere. So it's a need to do a lot of deep breathing, okay? A lot of mindful breathing. You know, a lot of self-centered awareness breathing, meaning you're not just watching the clock trying to get it in and done. No, it's like be with it. Follow the air, the journey of the air. Doing something as simple as that 2, 3, 4 times in a row. It's grounding. It's deactivating. It's calming. And when we are in a very calm state is when we can bring forth different and deeper layers of our own consciousness, our own awareness comes up, literally. So for every time someone asks you a question, you're like, I don't know. And they're like, sit with it. And in that sit with it, it's like you allow yourself to relax and then start to notice what new awareness comes in. And you don't recognize that you've just taken a sigh. Okay. You don't even recognize that sigh. But that sigh is so integral to being able to lean into your own inner awareness, your inner knowing of what you need, what you want, what matters most, what you're trying to do. That breath allows you to get beyond those blocks, okay? That breath allows you to get beyond those blocks. Man, we just do not pay attention to how important our breath is. We don't pay attention enough to it. It's so key and vital to our success in life on so many levels. For our physical health and our mental, emotional, and spiritual health. All of that can be found in breath work. Okay. So again, I'm just asking the question of what are you avoiding that is blocking your blessings? If you don't know, sit still or go move. But either way, practice some mindful breathing and self-awareness. And just notice what comes up. Yeah. All right. Oh, you love Tai Chi? I don't even know. I mean, I know what it looks like, but I don't know how it's supposed to go. Okay. Next card we got. Sound healing. Everything in me keeps telling me I need to get some sound bowls, like some sophisticated ones, not just my little copper bowl, but like to get different octaves. I need to start playing more with sound. Okay. And clearly you all do too. And it's not necessarily about going out and buying $500 sound bowls. If you got them, great, use them. But it really is about using song to de-escalate anxiety and angst, using sound to relax the body. It's a lot of energy around like having tension and blocks in the physical body, okay? It's like you can't think straight, literally, when you are activated, when we're emotional, when we're overthinking something. It's like we can't get to clarity when we are in these heightened states of emotion. Okay, I gotta figure it out. I gotta know. It's gotta be done. You can't get to clarity through that kind of mania. It's hard. You ever had to turn the radio down so you could think? It's because it's extra noise, extra distraction. Okay. So it's a lot of energy around using sound healing to relax. It's not even like getting to the answer of what are you avoiding. What you're avoiding is blocking your abundance. It's like before we can even like really identify what you're avoiding, you got to learn how to do some self-regulation first to let it in. Even if you think you have an answer to it, it's more to come if you get quiet and let it rise. There's a deeper insight. So there's a deeper awareness of what you're ignoring or what you're avoiding that's actually sabotaging your ability to grow forward and move forward in your life. It's a lot of energy around that, of needing to eliminate distractions, practice more presence, practice more calm and quiet. I think that's why I've been more dysregulated recently, is because one, I've been in community with a lot more people than I've been with in the last year. The last year, it really just been me and Vic. And we've peopled as we've wanted to, but we've been around family, which has been great. But it's just extra energy, right? Extra things going on. Their lives and babies coming and all kinds of things are kind of layered in. So there's a lot more energy transfer, and which requires me to do a lot more grounding, and I haven't been doing that as much as I need to. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that serve to distract us, that serve to take our attention to where we can't even make sense of, oh, I'm avoiding something. I'm just trying to deal with life right now. So to take time to actually calm yourself using something as simple as, it doesn't even have to be, like I said, a sound bowl. It doesn't even have to be a song on the radio. Okay. It might be just some soothing, background frequency that you're listening to on YouTube. Find yourself some 432 hertz and just let that play in the background. It might be some instrumental kind of music that doesn't even have lyrics to it. It may be you singing or chanting a song. Okay, and I know people start hearing the word chant and it's like, what does that mean? You be chanting every time you sing some rap song lyrics or chorus. Bitch better have my money. Wouldn't be what I try to meditate to. That's for another time. And why? Because that's getting me hyped to think about some other shit to do. Yeah, bitch better have my money. Shit. Sound healing is something that you want to use to soothe, to calm, to regulate, not activate. Okay. It's like any frequency that you prefer that gets you kind of downshifted a little bit into a more easy flowing feeling, as opposed to you're activated, anxious, and eager to go take on something. Those frequencies are great if you're about to compete or if you're about to perform, if you're about to do something. But if you're trying to just chill, you know what that looks like. You know what kind of frequencies soothe you, what kind of songs. You may listen to all kinds of music on a regular basis, but when you're trying to really de-escalate your mood and get into a more chill, you know the difference in music that you need to hear in order to get you in that groove. So it's not, oh, let me say listen to music and I'm listening to Mary J. Blige and I can love you. I can love you better. I mean, that's a groove, but is that like allowing you to get inside yourself, to relax and calm yourself? Sitting here, wondering why you don't love me. And that takes you to a whole other shit. The way that I love you, and baby, I know me. I know y'all singing. And you know I love you 'cause I can. Hey. Now, am I focused on me? No. No, I'm focused on Mary. You know, so using sound to self-soothe, to reduce mood, to reduce anxiety, to create more calm and ease in your energy body. Okay, I trust that y'all know the difference in the frequencies for yourself. I know if I turn on Big Sean, I Don't Fuck With You, that's probably not the song I want to ground to. That serves the opposite function. All right. Sound bowl healing is so fucking... Every time I get into a deep sound bowl experience, I'm naturally going to just lean over into sleep. I'm so relaxed that I can just lean over into sleep, like, very easily. Even when I would do it at home, listening to YouTube. Took Tai Chi when I was going to school and taking like 55 classes. What? That is so cool. Now I'm going to get curious. I'm pretty sure my son just watched a bunch of YouTube videos and that's how he learned. That's so cool, Crystal. I love that. All right, let me get one more card out of here. So using sound healing, these strategies are all about how to self-care to get to the level of consciousness you need to understand what you're avoiding that's blocking your success or blocking your abundance, as they say. This isn't even about figuring it out. This is about putting yourself in position to gain awareness. Okay. Create art. This card came up yesterday. Create art. As we're talking about how to connect with what you're avoiding that's blocking your abundance. Create art. What the hell does that mean? So they're just showing me like another strategy to use to activate your unconscious. It's like drawing, being creative, as we were talking about doodling as an example, coloring. Like these are what I call mindless activities. It's like it doesn't require your mind to think about it in order to do it. It actually activates another part of your awareness called creativity and imagination and play. And those energies bring forth knowledge and wisdom in their own right, in a different way. Like you think I gotta sit down and think about this in order to figure it out, versus when you go start coloring, same with that walking, it's like when you're just mindfully aware of what you're doing, your subconscious will start to bubble up naturally. Other insight, other awareness come. It's like, it's almost like backdooring yourself. You know, it's like if you had kids, I have twins, and when they were smaller, my daughter, she was a terror to my son. Okay. It's like if he had something that she wanted to play with, she'd be like, hey, Zion, look at this over here. Don't you want this? And he's like, yeah, I want that. And then she takes up what he had. Okay. So it's almost like you got to play that game with your own self. Okay. It's like, look, here's a coloring book. Play with this coloring book. Okay. And then meanwhile, your subconscious starts to come into the play and you didn't even notice. It's like it comes from out of nowhere because your mental mind is distracted here. And then all of a sudden there's this other awareness that starts to bubble up like, oh, okay. Yeah, okay. It's like you got to distract yourself in order to get to yourself. Okay. It's kind of how the sound healing works as well. It gives your conscious mind something to focus on so then your unconscious mind can come in the back door. It's like, it's not sabotage, it's self-help. These are help strategies. So to create art, you might think, I don't have time for this. That's a waste of my time because I got this, and this to do to figure out. I don't have time for this. No, that's actually how you're going to get the clarity about this shit, is if you go create some art. Creating art is going to take that pressure off of having to figure it out, and you're naturally going to come to some conclusions without forcing it. I know this is not math, as some of you all do. Create art. Yes, girl. Yeah, this is not something that we default to believing about our own process. We think we got to figure things out in a particular fashion that uses logic and reason and evidence and all the things, when really all you got to do is start getting more playful with yourself. Stop focusing on it. Go do something else. Occupy your mind in a different way and let your subconscious come in to give you more insight, clarity. Like, going on that walk is not a waste of time. You've got time. You've got time. And to not take your phone. Don't take any music. Don't listen to the podcast. Be present. Be fully present. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, be fully present. Now, why and how? Damn, this card came back again. First card says higher power. As I'm talking about doing things in solitude, doing things with yourself, for yourself. Okay. As we're talking about sound bowls and sound healing, yeah, you can go to a class and do all the things, but you can also stay at home and just play some music that is at a frequency that you feel good at. Okay. It's not saying you don't need to go and be in community, but you don't need to be in community to connect with yourself, to get more clarity, which is the ultimate goal here. As we're talking about what are you avoiding, that means you need to have clarity, be conscious. So this energy of the higher power is what happens when you do these things, when you reduce distraction, when you occupy your thinking mind with activity. It allows more of that unconscious knowing, what we call things like instincts and intuition. Your unconscious knowing comes to the surface to tell you what you need to know or recognize or do. Like, the instructions are inherent in this process. Some of you don't recognize that when you get quiet so you can hear, it's not the activity of your thinking mind, it is the activity of your higher power coming through. Some of you think, oh, I came up with a great idea when I was doing. No, you may have got a divine download or inspiration, but it's not you. We don't want you thinking about things. We don't want you drawing conclusions with your thinking mind. We want you to be able to access the internal wisdom that you also have, that doesn't have logic or order or routines attached to it. It's just knowing without knowing how you really know, which is what intuition is. It's knowing without knowing what you really know. You don't know how you come to know it. It's a knowing. I just know it. It does not have logic, reason attached to it. It's not required. It comes from a higher authority in you. That same authority that is responsible for all of creation operating in its perfect timing, in its perfect synchronicity, in its perfect form. That is what your intuition is. It is perfection that does not need your guidance. It does need your permission, because you can be intuitive as much as you want to be, but if you're not willing to let it in, willing to accept it as part of how you create in this realm, willing to recognize that it is your higher power speaking through you, to you, in you, man, if you're not willing to let that in, you lose all the magic of it. You lose all the knowing that you really have. We're talking about what are you avoiding that is blocking your abundance. You can't even get to that clarity because you're not even accepting that that's the clarity. You're like, that's extra. That's something different. Some of us are really mastered by our thinking minds. Our thinking mind is our God. Because we're going to trust that more than we trust what we don't see. And a thinking mind is all evidence-based. Thinking mind is all based on what you have experienced, what you've seen, saw, heard, what you've done. It's all backwards. Your intuition can see the future, and you don't know how you know. It's a feeling. It's just a knowing. That's why we call it a higher power, is because it does not require logic and evidence in order to be valid and true. Some of you are trying to make sense of why you're stuck based on past experiences, as opposed to trusting the sensing that is telling you. It doesn't matter what you've been through or who said what or what limitations you've experienced before. Like this sensing, this feeling that's telling you, yeah, that's it. That's what we should do. It doesn't have the infrastructure of logic, and it doesn't need it. It is greater than that. It knows what you need to do to get to your abundance better than what you have lived. It just knows. And it's very irrational. As any good faith walk is, very irrational. It don't make sense why you trust in things you can't see, because making sense is based on logic. So it's not going to make sense when you live intuitively. It's not supposed to make sense. That's why we talk about things like trusting in the process and trusting in your higher power. Like that trust means that it don't have to make sense. Sometimes when I'm channeling these messages, I feel like I want to qualify. I want to over-explain them a little bit more because I don't want people to walk away with the wrong understanding, but I'm trusting this process. See that, how that works? I'm trusting this process. I'm trusting that everybody's getting exactly what they need to signal inside of them the knowing that they need to now move forward with so that they can unblock these blessings. Whew, okay. Next card says, take the lead. Okay? Take the lead. Take the lead means you're in charge. Take the lead. What you're avoiding, what are you avoiding that's blocking your abundance? I said something earlier to the effect of, I can't tell you what that is. And as you can see, we're not even talking about what that could be. We're talking about the process that you need to engage yourself in to get to that clarity. Like getting quiet, eliminating distractions, trusting your higher power. Like all of that is the foundation for how you get to this clarity. It's not for me to tell you what you're avoiding. It is for you to be in position to receive it. And this is how you position yourself to get the clarity that you need to unblock your abundance. This card says take the lead for good reason. This is work. Like spiritual growth, personal growth, like personal development. You have to put in energy and attention and time toward these things if you want them to change. If a concept of abundance doesn't even matter to you, like I don't even know what that really means to me, and I don't really give a fuck because I got bills to pay and mouths to feed and and shit to do right now. Okay, shit. You probably don't want to listen to this much longer then. Because when I say take the lead, this is like holding you accountable to your own journey. Everybody is not here to experience, massive amounts of fulfillment and joy and excitement. And not because they're not entitled to it through their birthright, is that they've just decided that it's not for them. And when you decide it's not for them, not for you, that means that, that you have decided that other people need to play a role in it in order for it to happen for you. They not acting right, so that's not why I'm not happy. My boss be treating me mean, so that's why I'm not happy. The dating pool got piss in it, so that's why I'm not in a partnership. It's like if everything is everybody else's fault, your joy is dependent on everybody else doing something particular, then you're probably never going to get to what we call abundance. Because abundance is something like inner and outer fulfillment. inner and outer fulfillment. That's how I can sum up abundance. Anything you might identify as a measure of your success is what I would call abundance. And if you've decided that you can only get to those levels of your experience through somebody else acting right or doing certain things, if it's all contingent upon them, then you're right. It's going to stay blocked. You're not going to be able to see clear pathways because you're not taking the lead in your own life. It's not what do they need to do, it's what do I need to do? How do I need to shift? How do I need to change? How do I need to grow? What do I need to let go of? It's like if your life is contingent upon everybody else, you're right. It's not going to work out. You're never going to be happy. You're never going to get there. You're right. But if you look at every moment as you're in the driver's seat of it, and you may not get to say who does what and do the things, but you always get to decide how you respond to every moment. How you respond to every moment. Every single one of them. Again, remember choices, decisions, how you respond is a choice. Just because there's an army of people trying to hold you back from going toward what you really want, if you decide to quit, then it's over. If you decide to persevere, it continues. It's that simple. It doesn't matter how much resistance is coming against you. How many people have a negative opinion of what you do or how you do it? How many people are doubting your competency or your ability to be as successful as you think? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who does or says whatever. It's only you at the driver's seat. It's only you. It's for you to be like, I respectfully, I hear your opinion and I understand what you think, but what I think is best for me is this. And this is what I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to do it. And this is what needs to be done. Because these are all feelings I'm sensing inside of me. No one else needs to approve it. It's like that gut wisdom when your higher power starts to speak and you're recognizing like, yeah, this is what I'm feeling nudged to do or how I'm feeling nudged to do it. Don't matter what anybody else thinks about it or how they feel about it or what happened when they did that. It does not fucking matter. Whew. It's a lot of energy around not letting people stop you. Okay? Not letting people stop you. For some of you, that is what is absolutely blocking your abundance, is you're too caught up in what other people think or what other people might say or how other people feel. And I'm saying, I'm talking to y'all, but I'm actually talking to myself. This is the same shit in my head too. As I told y'all the other day, certain shit I don't talk about, certain ways I don't show up because that is in my energy too. It's like, I don't want to piss too many people off. But if I say that, then they're going to start thinking this, that, and the other, and that's not true. It's like, that's not our business. That is not our business. As they say, your opinion of me is none of my business. And it's not. Not when you know you're on a divine assignment and in divine alignment with that assignment. It's not. When you start to really embrace that this life and how this life unfolds is really not about the people and the players. It's all just a mirror for me to know how I need to navigate. Just because somebody said I shouldn't do X, Y, and Z doesn't mean that I actually shouldn't do X, Y, and Z. It just means that there may be some resistance. And it's for me to check in to my higher self. Is this for me to do this way? Yes. Move forward. Maybe not. Pull that shit back. But it's not because somebody else said so. There's too many of us that are letting other people chart our course. They're the determining factors in whether we do this or that. When we have an inner knowing that is telling us or showing us the way, we are still getting caught up on what other people think, how they feel about it, or how they respond to it. Okay? And we got to let that go. Okay? For some of you, you're avoiding having tough conversations with people. You're avoiding having tough conversations with people, and that's what's blocking your blessing. And that tough conversation might be, this is how I want it to go, and this is how I need it to be. Or it might be, hey, this isn't working for me anymore, and I think we need to let this go. That's tough. Remember that dead weight? That'd be tough. You know it's blocking you. You know it's holding you back. You know it. You feel it. But it's hard to let it go until you're ready. Until you're ready to stop doing the thing, or stop being with the person, or stop occupying the spaces and places that you know do not keep you moving forward. It's tough out here in these streets. Oh wait, what are you saying, Maya? Do what you feel led to do, regardless of who or what get upset or mad. Listen, Linda, Maya, and company. Yeah. And this shit is not easy, especially those of you who are born and bred to be people pleasers. I mean, it's not easy. I wasn't even born and bred to be a people pleaser, but there's still a part of me that wants to please people. I want people to be cool. I want people to be happy and excited and feel good when they're around me. Okay. And I don't have that as a core value. It's important to me, but it's not in the top 5. Because in the top 5, it's like, I got to listen to my higher power. I got to do what feels authentic and right and best for me, regardless of who feels that way. Like, I still got to do the things. But like 5 or 6, it's like, damn, but I really do care. So how do I navigate that? I just gotta choose me. And that'd be hard for people. Some people really want you to choose them at your own sacrifice. And I'm not talking about parents who have minor children, right? Parents of minor children, that self-sacrificial energy is there as a means of their safety, their provision. It's like, we can't just do what we want to do because it feels good to us. We got to pay attention to what this little soul needs first. What are they asking for us, or of us? You know, if we're going to be good parents anyway. But barring that aside, there are plenty of people who want you to choose their priorities over what feels natural and best for you. Plenty of people. I mean, we are socialized to be people pleasers. We are socialized to deny our inner knowing and to deny our innermost desires. This is like game 101 in this dimension, especially when you start tying in themes like capitalism, cultural values and norms. Like, we are rewarded for being self-sacrificial. In fact, they give you the ultimate self-sacrificial narrative to build your whole life around. I'm not going to go there, but I'm going to go there. I'm not going to go there. They give you the ultimate story of self-sacrifice to ingrain in you that this is what you got. You got to be willing to do the most uncomfortable things for the highest good of all. Not yourself, but of all. Ignore what your intuition is telling you need for you and do what they say. Okay. Ignore that. And be nice. Okay. Ignore your inner knowing that is telling you what is right for you and comply. Okay. All right, let me move on. I'm flirting with a very dangerous topic. I'm going to move on. People pleasing for me comes from lack of belonging coming up. I've learned it now, trying to be aware to choose different actions. Yeah, it's like a lot of unlearning. And what's up, Ryan? It's a lot of unlearning. Yeah, for many of us, it's a lot of deconditioning. A lot of it. Like, a lot of it. Some of you all were socialized to think that, you know, certain kinds of joy. They're even showing me like we're getting into some real deep waters. Things like sexual pleasure, like that has been demonized in many of your childhoods. It's like it's not a normal, healthy thing to feel sexual vitality, to feel um, horny. Horny is a very healthy condition. Okay, it's that energy, that excitement is a very normal, natural human expression. But some of you were taught that it's bad. Things like self-serving yourself is bad. Things like enjoying that kind of fulfillment as sport is bad. Okay. And I'm not talking about cheating and hoeing, extreme versions of it. I'm talking about just fucking pleasure for pleasure's sake. Okay. Some of y'all have some real kinky desires in life. When we talk about abundance, it's not, we talk about abundance like it's just material things. It also includes experiences and expressions. Some of you, even now to this day, still struggle with aspects of your sexuality because of the conditioning that told you to deny your natural urges and desires and do what is socially acceptable. I have some polarizing theories. I feel like everybody's queer. We don't always express it. But at the heart of it, we all have masculine and feminine energies that we're attracted to. And I don't know if you realize, but flesh ain't nothing but flesh, and it comes in different shapes, and the different shapes don't make a difference. It all feels the same. It's flesh. I'm not going to go as deep as they're taking me, because it's too early. It's just too fucking early for this. Too early for this. But I think you get the gist, okay? So it's like, when we talk about, what are you avoiding that's blocking your abundance? It'd be all kind of shit. It'd be all kind of shit, bro. I can't. We're going to have them conversations later. My head hurt. Okay, let's move on. The last... Crystal. Crystal, it's too fucking early, bro. Even I have limits, okay? Even I have the threshold where it's like, I don't even want to be the placeholder for this kind of conversation this early in the morning. Shit. I'm just going to say one word. That'll be enough to tell you where the conversation was going. Holes. Holes. Okay. I'm just going to stop right there. Okay. Holes. I'm just going to stop right there. All right. Moving on. Get it out of my head. Okay. I'm over here weak, bro. I'm fighting for my life in this message right now. I can't even get to the next card. Y'all stop. Crystal, stop. Crystal, you're like the person in the classroom where you're trying to stop giggling and you just get one look and then you just want to burst out laughing. Listen. All I'll just say is we are socialized away from a lot of shit that is actually natural for us, okay? It's not as big a deal from an intuitive, an intuitive place, It becomes like these social construct that tell us, don't do this, do that. Don't do that, do it like this, okay? Don't be like that, because if you like that, then you wanted him. And if you wanted him, then now you like that. It's like all of that shit is what disrupts, Yeah, anyways. Oh yeah, Crystal, I already got you pegged. Okay, it's like if something funny is happening, you try not to laugh. Don't look at Crystal. Holy shit! Oh my god. Okay, Ryan's dead over here too. Listen, there's a lot going on. So we had this card yesterday about avoiding drama, and if you can remember, it really was about internal chaos more than external. Okay. It's the internal drama. It's our internal conflicts that we be grappling with. You know, part of us be like, I know I should do this, and that, and the other, because it'll open up all these doors for me to do that, this, and that. We be knowing that kind of shit, but then we get in conflict with ourselves. But what if that don't work out how I think it's gonna work out? And what if, you know, things over here like get crossed because I made that one decision, and like that internal chaos inside our mind is what be fucking us up, trying to figure shit out in our mind. And I'll be the first to tell you that, you know, I have clear vision of what I want to see manifest in this realm, but I put a lot of pressure on myself to bring it to pass. I have a lot of internal conflict around it. It's like I should be doing this way, and because it's not happening in the way my shoulds are saying, then now I'm feeling fucked up, and I'm feeling inadequate, and I'm feeling like I'm not producing or not evolving as fast as things could. It's like this internal chaos is louder than the external. It may not be other people telling you, now, you know, if you do this, that, or the other, da 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 da. It's usually us inside us that is creating all this conflict and all of this dis-ease that literally keeps us from moving faster toward what we want. It's like, it's not just blocking. It's like we can't even see. Some of us can't even let in the things that we really, really, really would enjoy, is because we shut it down with logic and reason, and we literally obliterate it before it can even become a fully conscious thought. It doesn't even have to be like a whole projected reality, like, yes, I want to do this. We can't even allow it to just hold space because we be shooting the shit down so hard, okay, with our own internal conflict and judgment and doubt, okay? So it's a lot of energy around. It's like, what are you avoiding that's blocking your blessings? It's like we're avoiding just allowing ourselves to see ourselves in a certain way, to see possibility. Shit. Ain't nobody said you got to do it. Just let it be a thing. Like, oh, rocket scientist. Maybe I could be a rocket scientist, as opposed to, no, I could never be a rocket scientist. Fuck, you don't know. Gail King said that too. She went to space. Okay. It's a lot of that, man. The card says avoid drama. It's like minimize it, mitigate it, okay, recognize it. When you find yourself in conflict with what you say you want and then what you say you're capable of doing to get it, okay? That is a real block for some of you. What you say you want and then what you say you're capable of to get it. Whew, it's the energy of, oh yeah, I could never. Whatever you say on the back end of that, you're right. You're right. Because your very thought and thinking that is creating a conflict of interest between your ability to actually do it. They say you are as a man thinketh. And I don't know why this is coming, but this energy of I said what I said, okay? Like we be standing on business on bullshit. We be standing on business and our own bullshit. It's like our limitations be feeling like facts as opposed to just our opinion. And you may not see that in your limited purview of yourself, but some of the things that you think about yourself, you fight for those things. You fight for your lack. You fight for your excuses. You feel very just in your excuses. Well, I just wasn't raised like that. I don't fucking care. Even if you were raised in a way that people doubted you, minimized you, told you it couldn't happen, questioned why you was even pursuing the thing, or why are you even interested in that, or why. It does not matter what your conditioning was, okay? What does matter is what is stopping you from choosing otherwise now. A lot of energy around that. What is stopping you from choosing otherwise now? Yeah. They said X, Y, and Z. What is stopping you from choosing to think different, to believe different, to do different, choose different? What is stopping you from doing that right now? Whew, a lot of energy around that, okay? So that internal conflict that we be having with us about our potential to achieve what we really want and to receive what we really want. It's not even just like the work hard, I got to make it happen. 99% of the battle is surrender. 99% of the battle is surrender. Surrender. The other 1%, this is a channel message. They're saying 99% of the battle is to surrender. The other 1% is to know. If you know one thing and one thing only, is I'm a spirit being having a human experience, and then you just let life happen with that knowing, man, you don't even have to go do no shit. You just got to surrender to that knowing. That's 99% of the battle, is surrendering to that knowing. We think we got to make things happen. Newsflash, things have already happened. You're just in a time-space continuum where you're just finding out what happens. It's not because it hasn't already happened already. And there's no greater tool to help you really connect with that notion than human design. And if I can narrow some more aspects of it, astrology. Astrology lets you know this shit has already happened. You're just the one to live it out right now in this time-space continuum, but the story is already written, literally in the stars. If you've gotten a human design reading or you're learning more about human design, start looking up your planets. What gates are activated by which planets? It's going to tell you the story of who you are right now, and you just learned human design. It's like your story has already been written. What your greatest challenges are, the things that you feel most connected to when you talk. It's what your greatest lessons are in this lifetime. And you're going to resonate with the shit because it's what you're living right now. And it feels like magic. Like, how does it know me? Because you're already known. You're the last to find out. The path has already been written. The story is already laid. However they say it, it's already finished. You're the last to know. So all this warring with yourself, or is this going to work out, or is this that, this shit has already been laid. All you got to do is know that and surrender to this ride. Just surrender. And that doesn't mean that you don't care about nothing. It's like, whatever. No, that's different. Surrender happens with conscious intention. I'm not just going to do a trust fall not thinking nothing's going to catch me. There's a knowing that this is going in the direction that it's not just supposed to, but that is in my highest and best interest. That's the surrender. As opposed to something happens that you don't prefer, and now you're trying to make something be something else. You're trying to will your way into different outcomes, as opposed to in each moment, in each mindful moment, allowing that intuitive, instinctive, spirit-led part of you to decide what happens next. Not your brain. Because your brain says things need to happen like this, and it's a straight line. And if it's not happening like that, then it's not happening. But what surrender looks like is you have your little mind thinking, what are you thinking? And then you bump up against something, and instead of just, oh, fuck, everything's fucked up, instead of falling apart, it's like looking for the meaning in the detour or in the disruption, whatever negative connotation you assign to shifts in the path. It's like, okay, hold on. Let me tune in and assess this moment, as opposed to trying to stay rigidly fixed to what I thought the outcome should be or how the path should go. Let me stop and tap in for a second and assess how I'm going to proceed next. The tap in method, as Vic and I have been calling it. Tapping in means to tune in, assess, and then proceed. It's not, okay, here comes a block. Oh, fuck. Well, let me try to will my way to what I was originally thinking still to make it be what I know it needs to be. What I know in your mind, what it needs to be. As opposed to in every moment, taking a moment of reflection. Okay, hold on. And like going inside, not going to all the data, going inside to a feeling. Alignment, by the way, kids, is a feeling. It's not a thought process, it's a feeling. Things feel resonant because it feels resonant. It's not I think it's resonant. No, it's a feeling. Alignment is a feeling. And sometimes that feeling will bump up against your thinking mind and it'll feel so right. And your thinking mind is like, this don't make no sense. This is what we call miracles. Your thinking mind said it can only happen this way. And then all of a sudden it happens in a totally different way, but that works out in your favor. Like, oh shit. God is so good. Holy cannoli. And is. Okay, let me get. Said, oh Lord, what did I miss? Girl, you gotta stay current up in here because it should be pivoting real hard into some craziness. Okay, let's get into these last cards. Again, we're talking about what are you avoiding that is blocking your abundance? What are you avoiding? It's a lot of energy around self. Not paying attention to yourself. Not paying attention to your urges, your needs, your wants and interests, your preferences. A lot of energy around not paying attention, which is why mindfulness and meditation is important. So that you can get to the heart of what matters to you and what would feel good to you. So that you can bypass your own judgments or the judgments of other people that have you occupied. Okay, this is coming out. And that, and that. Okay. All right. So the card says, action leads to success. I had this card not too long ago. Action leads to success. So obviously a big barrier for some of you in terms of moving forward toward more of what you would deem your abundance is a failure to launch. Okay, this is what it's coming as, a failure to launch, a failure to take action, a failure to execute, a failure to move forward. Okay, it's like, what are you avoiding? What are you avoiding? Why are you avoiding? Why are you not taking action toward what you know? This isn't a clarity conversation. You already have clarity. Why are you not moving forward? And I just keep hearing why. Why? Remember, the first step is self-awareness. In order for you to manifest anything in your future, quote unquote, you gotta be aware of what it is you want, why you want it, why it matters. Like, you gotta be aware of you. It doesn't say be aware of everything and everybody else around you and what they want. It's what do you want? You can't take action, a sustainable action, based on what other people want. That's not sustainable. There's only so long we can tap dance for other people and call it our joy. Okay. Tap dancing for other people and calling it our joy. There's only so long that we can do that. It's not sustainable. Get tired. You don't get tired doing stuff you love. If anything, you got to make yourself stop. If anything. So this card says action leads to success. So all the reasons you're making excuses while you're not moving in the direction of what you want, that shit don't matter. It really doesn't matter. Because if you know who you are and what you came to do and you have the clarity of those things, everything else is an excuse. Everything else is fear, self-sabotage, is doubt. It ain't actual reality. Because in reality, the very thing your soul wants to do, you came to do, and it's here to be done. That's the reality, quote unquote. So it's a lot of energy around, as I keep making this reference to like slaying the dragons, okay? Resolving that internal conflict between what you know you're called and drawn to do and your intellect trying to make it make sense. You trying to make it all make sense is slowing down your progress. Meanwhile, there's an open door for you to go on and magnify and manifest everything you want to experience. There's an open door. Ugh, it's a lot of reiteration. There's an open door. It's like being at the airport. They're showing me the analogy. When you're going through security checks at the airport and you have to wait, it's an open pathway. The person ahead of you have already gone, but you don't step up until that person waves you forward, even though it's an open door. It's like you don't have to wait. It's open. You can go on through. You've already been approved. You've already been checked. Everything is good. Like, go on through. Versus you at an open door and you just standing there like it's still closed. Like it's not time. You got green light activities and you acting like you still gotta wait. It's not quite ready. Okay. Okay. Like this video if y'all resonating. Card says sacred boundaries. Okay. So there is a certain thing as, receiving constructive feedback and honest support and strategy. Okay. So it's not, fuck everybody and what everybody else say, but it's like holding space for it. There's a thing such as somebody has an opinion about what you're doing or how you want to do it, and it's not about fuck you, I don't want to hear it. It's like create space to hold it. You see the hand? Create space to hold it for a second. Hold it doesn't mean you receive it. It just means you are holding space for it. Just let it land in place. And then you get to choose whether or not you actually take it on, that you honor it. It's not about being, having tunnel vision, okay? It's like you can have a one-track mind and still see out of your periphery other things that are going on around. You might notice, oh shit, I want to detour over there. I want to pick that up and go. It's like you may find value in other people's insights and opinions, but it's not for you to absorb them. Okay, holding space means that there's a place right here that opinion, that insight, that strategy, these referrals or whatever they're trying to offer you can exist without you just absorbing it right away. It exists, and then you get to pick and choose based on what feels right and best for you, which parts of that you receive, which parts of it you hold as sacred. So the card of sacred boundaries is like, yes, protect your peace from anybody who's trying to disrupt you or to knock you off course, but there's also room to hear, okay? It's like the boundaries aren't just a Fort Knox wall around you where nothing can get inside of your awareness. It's like leave some peepholes to where somebody like, hey, have you thought about this? What do you think about this? Do you want this also? Well, you might want to consider this other thing. Create space for that. But it doesn't mean you automatically honor it just because it's said. And that's the distinction that many of you get stuck on. It's like all or nothing. I'd be struggling with this. I'm going to tell you, I struggle with this because I will create the Fort Knox, like, don't tell me shit. But to keep and create these pathways for learning, for growing, for improving, And sometimes that happens outside of what you already know. Sometimes people can add to what you're doing if you keep those little windows of opportunity. You keep those little doors open. Not big doors, everybody come tell me what you think, but little doors where you can receive something and then discern, does this feel in alignment? Is this value added to what I'm thinking, what I'm doing, what I'm trying to create here? Oh no? Okay, boom, y'all can keep that. Thank you though. So there's a fluidity in our boundary setting that has to allow for, I'm hearing improvement, to allow for improvement. You may have $1 million idea. You may have a clear idea of how to execute this $1 million idea. I don't need anybody else to tell me anything about this idea because I've got it. Meanwhile, there are pieces and places and spaces that you are not fully competent or not all-knowing to where someone can add more value to what you're doing. Leave those doors open. And it's not a fly open door that everybody can come in, but it's like a discernment. You know what it looks like to go to a door and people got to check your ID and check some shit and then they let you in? It's that type of shit. It's that kind of gatekeeping. Okay? Love that. Sacred boundaries. Last card of the day says, you are more. You are more. And I feel like this is speaking to that we kind of sell ourselves short. We, as in, this is part of the human condition. I do this as well. We sell ourselves short and we talk about what's actually blocking our abundance. It's our own self-reflection. It's our inability to really see the greatness that is inside of each of us. Yeah, it's a resistance to it even sometimes. Oh, I couldn't be all of that. You may not say that in those terms. It comes across as different. It's playing small, choosing opportunities that feel more familiar as opposed to those that stretch you a little bit farther. Okay. It looks like an unwillingness to put yourself out there in certain ways because you have a negative projection either of yourself or of other people who do that. It's like this you are more is a failure to really see ourselves and the value that we bring to certain circumstances, situations, relationships, opportunities, a failure to really see our full value. These are some of the things that end up blocking our ability to move forward toward what we really want. So, there's a lot in this message this morning. There's a lot in these messages this morning. What you're avoiding is blocking your abundance. So what are you avoiding? It may be time to identify those things with more clarity. What are these fears? What are these doubts? What are these insecurities? Write them down. Give them language. Give it language so that you can get even more clear as to how you are sabotaging yourself and what does the hurdle actually look like that you need to get over. What does the block actually look like so that you can strategize how to move with it? Because remember, all of these things come at a good reason. The blocks are not here to defeat you, to sabotage you, to hold you back. The blocks are here to build more resilience, more stamina, more endurance, more strength, more knowing. It's just the opposite mechanism. It's not here to tear you down and to stop you. It's here to fuel you to move forward. You ever had your car stuck in a ditch and tried to get that wheel out? You can't just rev the engine a little bit to try to get out. You got to almost gun that shit a little bit to get the momentum to get up out of it. It's meant to bring out more in you, not less. It's meant to show you more aspects of your value, your contribution, your ability. More of you. It's like going in a hurdle race and you just because you get to the hurdle, you now stop and go back to start. It's like, no, jump that bitch. If you've ever run over a hurdle, there's a certain cadence you got to go at it. You run, and then you got to stutter step a little bit and then jump over that bitch. There's a strategy behind it. And once you master the strategy, now you can keep jumping the rest of the hurdles. Life is one big series of character building exercises, kids. Okay. And whatever challenges you're having in your life right now, whatever resistance, whatever barriers or blocks that you're having that are keeping you from moving faster toward what you really want and what really matters, this is all par for the course. It's not a mistake. It's not something that shouldn't be happening. It should be happening. And it's for you to identify why and what is it bringing out in you that is necessary. Okay. So I'm going to leave this with that. If you didn't get a chance to like the video, take time now. I appreciate you. These are the morning messages. Dun, 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 dun. I'm out of here, y'all. Of course, every weekday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern, live intuitive channeled messages with moi, Allah-mi Basheer. Go to begreateveryday.com if you want to book a reading, if you want to sign up for coaching, if you want to learn more about what we do and how we be doing it. More to come, y'all. Have a great day. No matter what. Peace.